think there's a chance. The numbers are obviously going to be very, very tight either way, given that the government doesn't have a majority and given that there are very many different interests in this debate. I hope that it won't pass, because I think it's going to be bad for Britain's economy and bad for peace and security in Northern Ireland. If it does pass, I hope it passes with the proviso that there is a further referendum, a further asking of the people of the country whether they're happy with the deal.
The Prime Minister clearly not someone who would like that prospect to be facing him, the idea of a second vote. Do you think that you and people of like mind will have the numbers to push that onto his plate?
Well, again, it's going to be very, very close. There will be a few votes either way. Last time we voted on this, because we seem to have been round this track many times before, it was the option that was most closely contested, but we still lost, I think, by 20-odd votes. This time round, I think there's a widespread belief that the number of people who've decided that's the best way to try and resolve this issue, to resolve Brexit, is with a further vote of the people, have grown in number, and therefore we're more confident this time that it might pass. But either way, it's going to be extremely close.
One of the reasons it will be so close, of course, is because members of your own party have different views about this. And a week or so ago, quite a number of them wrote to the EU saying, we would like to see a deal, we would like to see a deal very quickly, because they have concerns about what no deal means for their individual constituencies, amongst other reasons. Do you think that the Prime Minister might be able to woo enough members of the Labour Party to his side of the House?
Well, that is my concern, and I think they are misguided if they go down that route, because they're right, of course, to be worried about no deal, because that would knock 10% off gross domestic product for the UK, 10% knocked off our economy overnight. However, this deal, as we understand it, we haven't got the full details, but from what we understand so far, is still going to knock 6% off our economy, which means another decade or more of austerity and cuts to public services in Britain. And that's why I hope that Labour members who are in favour of additional public spending should be opposed to Brexit on these terms.
Just in terms of what happens over the next few months, if the Prime Minister is forced to ask for an extension, there's not a huge amount of clarity for people watching this, perhaps from outside the UK, even those watching inside the UK, as to what your party really wants to do next. You, of course, lost a shadow ministerial role because you pushed for a referendum before perhaps there was momentum amongst the party leadership. That now seems to be very much part of the agenda for the Labour leadership. And I wonder, do you think that will come ahead of a general election? Is there any possibility that we'll see that reversal?
Well, I was ahead of the curve, as you say. I've been arguing for this for more than 3 years as the right thing to do democratically, and also because I believe Brexit is a terrible historic mistake we've made as a country, and I want to give the country an opportunity to draw back from the brink. And if you look at the polls, the country would draw back from the brink, would change its mind if we had another vote, which is why the Prime Minister and those people who are in favour of Brexit don't want to give the people a chance to change their mind. Labour's position, I think, is more clear than it has been. We're in favour of a second referendum on this deal and on a deal were the Labour Party to be in power. Where there is a debate still is whether we prefer there to be a general election first or after that referendum. My view is very clear, and I think the view of the vast majority of Labour MPs, holding a referendum before a general election is a much better, cleaner way to deal with this issue. If you try and hold a general election, it will be a proxy for a Brexit referendum, and frankly it will just be confused. And I don't think it will resolve this issue as cleanly as holding another vote on Brexit. Now we know what it actually means for people, and it does mean more cuts, less money for public services and less opportunities for our children and grandchildren.
Hi, I'm Joanna Bersecci, and thank you for watching. You can check out more of our videos by clicking on the boxes on the screen. And don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more from CNBC International. Thank you for watching.